Alright, hello everyone, I'm Santiago, I'm from Argentina. At the moment of recording this video, I am 27 years old and I am looking for remote job opportunity as a developer. The objective of this video is to show the operation of a desktop application that I developed with the skill I learned using C#, .NET framework, and SQL databases. What I'm going to show you is the operation of the application and what it is capable to do. I'm not going to show you the whole code behind and to not make this video long, but you can access it, the code in my public GitHub repository, to which I will leave the link that will take you to it in the description. So about this application, this is a desktop application that simulates being an article manager or a catalog from articles, that it could be from an e-commerce site, for example. This project follows an MVC architecture, as you can see here. The classes within the model folder, this is the model folder, is in Spanish, but I will translate for you. Here are the objects that the application is going to manipulate. In the controller folder here, there is the logic necessary to execute actions such as queries to the database. And in the view folder here are the views of that application use. So I'm going to execute this. Maybe I'm going to need a bit of patience here because my computer is kind of old and it could be slow, but here we have. So as you can see, if the application starts without articles or options in the main grid, it shows a sign that says no articles to show, add or restore to visualize it. So I'm clicking OK. And behind of this, what happens is that an instance of an empty list is created, so that the application does not fail when starting if it does have no products to show. When a product is added, what happens is that the list it is used to show all the products that is assigned to it with a query to the database. Now we are going to add an item using the event of this button here, which is new article. This opens a form to load the data of a product. This form has checks in all its fields that prohibit the user from entering incorrect data. As you can see in this error provider, tells me what I need to enter so that the field is correct and can be inserted in the database. Here we have the code of the product, name of the product, only letters and numbers, description, and the price, only number. So now we are going to add an item, the code. I don't know, let's put some random characters. This will be electronics. This is just an example. Example. So these two here are combo boxes that leads the brands and the categories from the database and allows me to choose an option that I want to assign to the product, and this is achieved. Here I want to select Sony, and this is achieved by bringing a list of brands and category from the database with their IDs and showing their descriptions. So the brand will be Sony and the category will be audio. In the image field here, I can use an URL from the web or upload a local image, and it will work in both cases. If I do not enter an image, or if I enter an invalid URL format, what it loads is a default image, and this is what is assigned to the product. For example, if I use this is what it has assigned to the product, and which is a URL on the web. So the database saves the path to it and will look for it, that address, every time it needs. In this case, we're going to use a local image by clicking in this button here, which calls an open file dialog class that opens a windows and allows me to choose a local image on my local disk. For example, this one. So when adding the product, the copy of this file is created in a folder of the application, which I configured through the configuration file, using a key and a value, which is the path to the folder where the copy of the file should be saved. Also, the application does not allow files with duplicate names. So to handle this, the application adds the current date with hours and seconds, in which the copy is created in the file name to avoid having two identical names. I achieve this by using the date now class. Let's check if I add a product. This doesn't allow me because I have to fill this with only numbers. If I put text here, it doesn't work. So I only can use numbers in this is the price field. So let's add the product. This say article added successfully, and as you can see, the main grid view is updated, and now the button to modify and to delete and enable. I programmed this like this because if there is no objects selected in the main grid and I try to modify or delete it, the application will fail because it will not have any object selected, which will result in a null reference object exception, and this is not good for the user experience. So if I click here the modify button, the same form that I used to add the product is now open again, but with all the product data already loaded. So the user can modify only what he wants or she wants to modify. For example, I will modify the description file and I will say example number 2, and I'm going to modify the brand to Samsung. Click add. Now the article has been modified. I have the description here and the brand here. So this makes an update query in the database and adds the modification to it. So here, clicking this button here, you can see the product that the user deleted, but they are not really deleted, they are just hidden. I decided to do this because of two reasons. One, to avoid making change in the database by a delete query, and number two, allow the user to retrieve the product that they want to retrieve instead of having to add again. So what happened here is that an update query is made to the database. The name of the product is modified by adding this word here. Eliminado is Spanish for deleted. So then the query that brings the list of the items to the main grid brings all the items that do not contain this word in the name. So by using this button here, I select an article. I'm going to restore this one, and clicking this button here makes another update query to the database, replacing this word with an empty space. Then it's added back again to the main grid because no longer contains the word in its name. You can say here the word is gone, and now I can see the article here. So lastly, we have a filter right here in the upside of the view, which allows you to search the database based on whether certain conditions are met. First, I'm going to do an empty search. This is the button for search, which doesn't pass the check and asks me to select a field. This is the condition by which I want to filter the search by the following options. I have the code, the name, the brand, the category, and the price. It depends on what I choose here. It is what I will be able to select in the next filter. I will select here name of the article. And in the criteria field, if I select, I have three options: begins with, contains, and ends with. What I'm going to handle here are strings, because what allows me to search for words that begins, contains, or ends with. And what I write in the text box here is added to the SQL query that searches for the match in the database. For example, I selected a name of the article begins with, and I have here Apple computer in the name. I'm going to write down AP, and that's what the filter finds in the database with this match here. If I make an empty search, that brings all the articles again, all the lists again. And if I select in the field price, I want to make a search by price. What I can choose here is greater than, equal to, and less than, and that allows me to make a search for a range of prices. So for now, that's what my application does. It is basic, but I think it contemplates and demonstrates the skill I have so far as a developer. In the future, I'm going to expand its operation by adding more functionalities, and I'm also going to develop the web application that will consume the same information. As I said before, in the description I'm going to leave the link for the GitHub repository of this project. In case you want to see the code, you can do it there. I hope you like it. Thank you for your time. I will leave my email also in case you want to contact me. Thank you very much again, and bye.